Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing a reading based on the full moon that's coming in and the energies that the Twin Flame Collective may be picking up on and experiencing over the next few days. Often the energies of the full moon start coming in a bit before, and they also last for a while afterwards, so it's never always just on the exact day and time of the full moon that we start experiencing these energies. Usually I do these readings in order, so I'll start with, the overall energies. These are advice cards, head, heart, and 3D space, divine masculine, divine feminine. But I've already tried recording this video a couple of times, and each time it has either just stopped recording randomly or something else has kind of interfered with the video. And I feel that's because as I was pulling these cards, I was getting a lot of channeled messages that weren't necessarily related to the exact meanings of the cards, and I feel that rather than going through each one and speaking of them individually, I feel Spirit's really asking me to express my channeled messages rather than what is exactly showing up in the cards. But use your guidance while you're watching this video. If there's cards that are sticking out for you and you know the meanings, or the imagery is saying something to you, then please use your guidance as well, because I think this is really important for us all to do, especially over this full moon energy, is to really go within and use our own inner abilities, really connect with our own guides, and whatever we use to gain our clarity and confirmation of this process. And also I wanted to thank all of my new subscribers, and also just the people who've been along watching these videos from the very beginning. I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that these readings are really bringing some clarity and confirmation for you in your twin flame journey. So starting off with the divine masculine, what I was coming up with as these cards were coming out was, I feel that there's actually a lot of on both sides telepathic communication. I feel that the divine masculine is really starting to understand this whole concept. Still, they may not know the actual label of twin flames or spiritual awakening, but they're really understanding that something big is happening in their lives. It's bigger than what it looks like on the surface. And I feel that a lot of the divine masculines are either sensing their feminine's energy, experiencing it in the dream state. I feel that there's a lot of, what I was picking up when I was pulling these cards out was that a lot of the divine masculine and feminine are having these kind of secret meetings in the 5D where you may not be aware of this in your physical daily life, but I feel like a lot of the twin flames are getting together and really kind of comparing notes about what's been going on in their lives, and really starting to see the connection and mirroring and synchronicities and signs in each other's lives. And this is really helping the divine masculine in the 3D, when he's awake and living his life or hers, to ground what it is that they're feeling, this bigger picture of what's going on for them. And I feel that they're also really starting to mix their own divine masculine and feminine energies in themselves, because we all have both in us. That's why sometimes you'll watch videos and you might be a divine masculine, but you're resonating with the feminine more so, and the same goes for the divine feminine. So yeah, I feel that these secret meetings, or you know, a lot of them will be getting this guidance in the 3D, where they are aware that there's either help from their spirit guides or source, the divine universe. You know, some divine masculines will be more in touch and aware than others, but I feel that this is really bringing to the surface why they've experienced the things that they've experienced, that they've had to go through the pain and trials and tribulations and conflict and everything that they've been through up until this point, and with the divine feminine, in order to end karmic cycles. And I feel that a lot of the divine masculines are actually understanding that these karmic cycles that are closing or that they've been through are actually past life related. So you know, they're recognizing their soul family, and how maybe they've been in a relationship with a karmic partner, and they're seeing that this was all how it was supposed to be, and this was all pre-planned in a sense, and that we're all here to help each other along our path, whether we're here and we're hurting each other, or we're here and we're uplifting and healing each other. It's all part of this journey, and this journey is about, you know, growing and coming into your own, and really stepping into your mission. I feel a lot of the divine masculines are also understanding that they have their own separate soul purpose or mission outside of their divine feminine that they need to go into. And I feel that a lot of them are also recognizing that their current job or career choices are related to this, and I feel that they're using this as a way to manifest in all of the lessons that they've been learning, kind of bringing them in a grounded way to experience a new way of being. I feel that a lot of the masculines are surrendering to the process and letting go of a lot that's been holding them back. I feel a lot of the masculines have been forgiving themselves as well, because there has been a lot of energy of, you know, recognizing and awakening to this connection. And I feel that a lot of the masculines were holding guilt for the way that they acted in the twin flame connection, possibly for you know, leaving the divine feminine to deal with all of this on their own, and so they're really seeing that there's more to the story to come, and there's a lot of endings and new beginnings in their lives, and I feel like they're really embracing this. They're ready to accept that there is something more going on here. I feel like that there's just been too much going on in the form of tower moments for the divine masculine to ignore. You know, we all have our ups and downs in life, but when we have big things happening one after the other, or constant endings, we have no choice but to really stop and process what is going on. And I feel that the divine masculines are doing this. So it may not look to you divine feminines like the divine masculine are really getting it yet, or taking action on this connection, but they really are, and they're doing it in their own way. It takes a lot to open up to the unseen, and especially if you're a logical, rational, grounded sort of, if I don't see it, I don't believe it type of person. This is a really big process to go through to open up to all of this. But yeah, the overall thing that I was getting as these particular cards were coming out was just a lot of communication and guidance going on in aspects that are unseen. And I do feel also on top of that a lot of twin flames have come into communication, not necessarily union or reunion yet, but I feel that this sort of comparing of notes could be happening for a lot of you in the 3D. And because we've got pages and nights coming out, I do feel that there is still a lot of processing that needs to go on if you have come into contact physically with your twin. There is still a lot of closing of cycles and new beginnings coming up, and changes happening. So, you know, if you are comparing these notes in the physical, just be in the moment right now. Don't cling on or grab on to anything that's happening right now. Allow it to come and go as it needs to, because the divine masculine may still need to go within again and kind of process this new way of being and thinking and relating to the world and to you, divine feminine. But they are gaining the strength to do this, and they are gaining, you know, strength in releasing their burdens, or really understanding what their burdens were in the first place. They're able to unchain themselves to sort of repetitive cycles that they've been stuck in, by not being open to what really is going on. And with the divine feminine, what I was picking up on was a lot of the divine feminine, I feel, are really engaging more their own inner abilities, and their inner knowing. They're really really stepping into their divine feminine energies, and I feel a lot of the old templates that we have, you know, that have been kind of drilled into us through our cultures and movies and music and stories, are changing for the divine feminine as they're really gaining clarity on what this connection is. I feel that a lot of the divine feminines feel that, you know, even though there may be separation involved, or even if you're talking, there's still no certainties going on, that there's still more to this. The divine masculine are waking up, and excuse me, the divine feminine really are powerful manifestors, and you know, by going within instead of reaching out, they almost get more clarity and connection through doing this, if that makes sense. They get to the truth a lot quicker and easier. I feel a lot of divine feminines have been channeling messages of their own, because we all have this ability. It just depends on how aware of it we are, and how we allow it to unfold. It unfolds differently for everyone, and I feel that the divine feminine are really figuring that out, and figuring out that they can also have this connection and communication with their masculine, even if it's not physical. And so this is really helping them to cut away what is illusion and what isn't. I feel a lot of the divine feminines are gaining strength and faith within their own knowing and intuition, and who they are. So they're knowing that this isn't all in their head. They're not just making things up. They're not clinging to things that don't serve them by believing in the twin flame process, or by letting go and, you know, allowing what will happen to happen. And I just feel there's a lot more comfort and stability in, you know, walking away from illusions and superficial things as well connected to this journey. Understanding that, you know, the concept of union doesn't have to be the way we think of our typical relationships, where, you know, it's romantic, it's passionate. It doesn't even have to be a romantic connection to still be a twin flame relationship. And I feel that a lot of the divine feminines are really understanding that, and embracing that as well. They're embracing the unknown. They understand that they don't see everything that's going to come up. They don't know what the masculine is going through. They don't know if they're supposed to be with their masculine in a romantic or platonic or whatever way, but they just know. They just know that this is all for the better. You know, there's more to this, and this is really transforming the way that they see the, you know, ultimate ideal relationship for them. They're really, you know, coming up with creative ways of thinking about this and seeing this, and a lot of the divine feminines who know that they are going to come into union in a romantic way, I feel, are just really allowing the process to unfold as well, and knowing that it doesn't have to be right now. It's okay if your masculine is still, you know, with a karmic, or, you know, experiencing other forms of relationships right now. There's still this Ten of Cups energy, regardless of whether it's right now, in the future. A lot of the divine feminines are understanding that, you know, the time and physical, the 3D space, is not the same as what it is like in the 5D, and that many of you are already in union in some way, shape or form in the 5D. And that doesn't mean that all of the divine feminines are feeling like happy and lovely and woo, this is all great, because this is all still, it's still difficult. There's still a lot that that we don't understand. There's still, you know, we don't have necessarily the physical confirmation of what's going on, but I feel like we're just surrendering to the process, regardless of what's on the surface. So yeah, I feel ultimately that a lot of the Twin Flame Collective have gone within, and you know, both sides have been having their awakening moments, and now is the time with this full moon to really process and comprehend this. So if you were in physical communication with your twin, don't freak out if all of a sudden they withdraw or become a bit more distant, because there is a lot of cycles ending on both sides, and there is a lot that's being integrated and yeah, just really processed at the moment. I was just picking up on the both sides of the twin flame connections. It's almost like they're going back to school spiritually, so a lot of you might be connecting and meeting with spirit guides if you haven't before, or angels, ascended masters, whatever it is that you believe in or feel that you're connecting with. And so this is just it's a period of learning and understanding, revision as well on what we've previously learned, and preparing for our next wave of lessons, because we never stop learning. We never get to the point where we're just fully awakened and that's it, or fully healed and we don't have to work on anything else. So I feel like this is kind of like the calm before the storm, but the storm doesn't have to be disastrous. It doesn't have to be a horrible storm. It could be a storm of sunshine and greatness, or it could be a mixture of both. But I just feel that there's a lot of energy stirring, and so yeah, we're going within and connecting in a different way to each other during this time, as we just really figure out what's going on. And these up here were advice cards. This was the bottom of the deck that I was drawn to show, but the Divine Masculine has time to go, and this is all about understanding that things are ending. It's time to leave the past behind. You know, all the karmic cycles that have ended as well. Like we've got the World here, which is about endings and new beginnings as well. Just go, just keep moving forward, don't look back. Things have ended for a reason. Don't go back and open that door. And it's also an ending of the way that the Divine Masculine used to see sort of the spiritual and unseen way of being is what I'm picking up from that. They're really what they've learnt, what they've been through, and what they've seen, whether, you know, through the physical eye or the inner eye, they can't go back on that anymore. Too much has happened, too much has unfolded, and this is a lot of what the Divine Masculine have to comprehend as well, and are getting guidance on through the universe, through Source, whether they're aware of it or not. I think that a lot of the Divine Masculines are just having aha moments and realizations that pretty much, you know, in a way, life as they know it has changed. And the Divine Feminine got Go the Distance, and what this is about is having endurance and sticking it out for the long haul, having an understanding that things take time, and you know, you can't rush this process. You can't take a detour. It's just is what it is, and it all will happen when it's supposed to happen. And so don't burn yourself out through this process. Just keep going at a sustainable pace, and going within and really embracing your power and your manifesting abilities, and your intuition, and your own lessons, and, you know, your own transformations and endings, embracing that, and allowing the masculine the time to close the door on things that have ended. This takes time too, and so you have to understand that on the Divine Masculine's part as well. This isn't easy at all. This takes a lot of strength and courage and determination to end things and step into the unknown. A lot of the Divine Feminines have had to do this through this process, but in a sense because the Divine Feminine are a bit more connected to Source and guidance, and you know, are more open to learning about things like twin flames and spiritual awakenings. It kind of acts as a bit of a buffer, because we have this belief in faith, whereas the Divine Masculine may not have that ability as easily as the Divine Feminine. And then at the bottom of the deck was Imagine. And so I feel that this is about both Divine Masculine and Feminine really, again, going within, figuring out what it is that you want from this connection, from your twin, and also from your life in general. If what your life is producing for you at the moment isn't what you want, go within and imagine what it is that you do want, and really feel it and believe it. Imagine it as if it was real right now and you were living that life. And also play with your imagination. I feel that a lot of you are getting a lot of signs and symbolism, either from things around you, but also from within. Not everything that pops up in our imagination is pure imagination. And so if you're new to the awakening process, whether you're masculine or feminine, be aware that, you know, images, thoughts, and songs and all sorts of things that kind of pop up in our imagination out of nowhere aren't always imagination. This is the way that our guides, angels, universe get our attention, and so it's worth looking into. And even if it is your imagination, you're making it up in some way. Not everything will be made up by your imagination, but go within your imagination, because sometimes that is, it gives us more awareness of our subconscious mind and how we truly feel about things. It can be where our ego is absent, and so we're not seeing things through filters of I'm not good enough, or this isn't real, or it's all the other person's fault. So yeah, really don't dismiss your imagination at this time, especially through the full moon. Any full moon can really heighten intuition and connection with the universe. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too confusing. I feel like I have repeated myself quite a bit throughout this, but as I said, every other time I was trying to do this, it wasn't working, and I feel that's because I just kind of got a channeled story rather than, information on each of the cards. This won't resonate with everyone, especially because this is a general reading for the collective, and so if this doesn't resonate with you, don't worry. Just take what does, leave what doesn't, especially considering this is a time for us to all be going within and getting our own guidance. This video really should be acting as a way to get confirmation or clarity on what you're already picking up on, rather than bringing to light things that you had no idea of. So yeah, you should already know if this is for you or if it's not. And so if you would like a more personal reading where we can really look at what could be going on in your connection, feel free to book a session with me at my website, which is exploringresilience.com. I'll put the website address in the description box below. And please, if you resonated with this reading and did gain clarity or confirmation of your own situation, please hit the like button and subscribe. That way you're able to stay up to date with these videos, but it also helps get these messages out to more people who may need to hear this for themselves. And also, if you're coming into this reading after the full moon, or even a year from now, these messages are timeless. So I firmly believe that we're guided to messages when we need to hear them, even if that we don't really understand them at the time. Maybe one day in the future we'll think back and be like, oh yeah, I heard that once, or I saw that somewhere. So also don't be disheartened if you're watching this at a different time. Yeah, so thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing, and I wish you all the best over the full moon energies, and really going through whatever cycles you're ending, and going within and really connecting with yourselves. And I'll see you guys all in the next video. Thanks. Bye.